Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Chairs. Today I'm going to be showing you guys Google Classroom, which is going to be a great way to help you guys engage your students, take a lot of the work off of you in the classroom, and really allow your students to flourish and thrive in an educational technology environment. I'm actually going to be doing 3 short videos today because there's so much to do in Classroom just as an introductory process. I don't want to miss anything and I don't want a video to drag on too long. The first video is going to be how to get to Google Classroom, how to create your classroom, and how to add students into your classroom. Our second video is going to focus solely on posting into your classroom and creating assignments. Our third video is going to be about different tips, tricks, and fun things you can do with Google Classroom to make your job easier. So without any further ado, let's get going into Classroom. To get to Google Classroom, you'll simply go into your address bar and with your browser. I personally recommend Chrome if you're using Google Classroom. I always feel it's the most advantageous to use the browser of the product you're working for. And you simply go classroom.google.com. And when you come up, you're going to first get an announcement saying, hey, this is your first time here. What account do you want to use? Pick the account you'd like to use. Google Classroom is actually now available for anyone. You do not need a school Google account. However, you cannot have someone from a school account join a private Google Classroom. And if you have a school Google Classroom, someone with a private email can't join it. They're mutually exclusive of each other. But let's create our first classroom. So right here, there's a plus button. We're going to click that and you'll get 2 options. You can join a class that's already been established, or you can create a class. As the teacher, you're going to be creating our classes. And this is that announcement I just told you where you can't mix and match private and school. You'll be asked for 3 pieces of information. You only need to fill in one, and that's your class name. In this case, I'm just going to call it the demo class. Section 1, and the subject is Classroom. And you hit Create. You give it a few seconds, and Classroom has now loaded. And Google will pop up and give you a couple pieces of information that you'll find helpful. I'm going to cover those with you. So you have now created your class. Quick overview of Classroom. There are 3 tabs you're going to deal with. First is the stream, and this is where majority of your work is going to be. This is where assignments, announcements, work will be posted and students can access to do work on. It includes when work is due, topics, and if you want to see items you've deleted from the stream. The second tab is your Students tab. This is where you'll be able to see and manage your classroom, give permissions, take permissions away, remove students, email students directly from your classroom. And the final tab is the About, which covers a lot of general information about this. As I said in the beginning though, we're only dealing with creating our classes and our students in this video. So let's go to our students. Obviously, a classroom without students isn't really much of a classroom. So you need to add students in. And there are 2 ways that you can do this. One is by manually inviting every single student. You simply hit this Invite Students button. You type in their name or email, and it will send a little message to the student saying, hey, you have been invited to join Mr. Smith's class, Mr. Turris's class, Miss Jones's class. And when they go into Classroom, it'll actually pop up on their Classroom homepage, and they will simply click Join or accept the invite, and they will then be enrolled in your class. That's a great option if you're dealing with a small number of students. However, I sometimes have 100-something students at a time that I need to get into classes. I don't want to be sending out that many emails. So I use the option B, which is the class code option, which you'll see right here. Each time you make a class, it's going to have a unique class code, which you do have the ability to reset and change. So I always recommend once you have the students enroll in the class, reset the code so that you don't have random people joining. Sorry. Where were we? They've also now added a display feature for the class code. If you hit the display button, it will make a larger version of the class code appear on your desktop, and if you hit this box, it becomes massive. You no longer have to copy and paste it into a Word doc or a docs file and make it really big. They do that for you. A very helpful tip. You can simply hit escape to close it out. As the students sign up, you'll see their names appear right here as a list. They will be sorted alphabetically, so you don't need to concern yourself with that. Final thing with students have permissions that you can enable. Students can post and comment. So do you want students to be able to make announcements into the class? And do you want them to be able to comment on things posted? Do you want them just to be able to make comments about things you have posted, or do you not want to let them talk at all within Classroom? I always recommend giving them the ability to comment and see how it goes, but you always know your students best. You know what they can handle, and they will always show you what they can handle as well. If you only have 1 or 2 students causing a problem, you can individually mute those students, and it also is a great way to send a message to the rest of the class before they all start acting like clowns. I hope you guys enjoyed this video 1. The rest of them will be coming shortly.